Hi parents, welcome to your DJFH parent meeting. I'm Wynn Lennon, I'm the program director, and I just want to start off by saying that this pre-recorded video format is designed to be super convenient for you. It is undoubtedly the cringiest part of my job to have to look at myself on this camera. So please, if you could, just bear with me as I fumble along here. Okay, briefly, I just want to tell you a little bit about who we are at DJFH. We are a nonprofit organization and we're a town program. Our board is made up of a group of very dedicated parent volunteers, and they range from those with daughters just beginning on their youth field hockey experience to other parents that have athletes that have graduated the youth, which is amazing. This group works tirelessly and it's really all year long, and I could not get by without their collective efforts. So I just want to give them a little public shout out because they deserve that. So thank you to our board. Again, I'm Wynn. A little bit about me. I've been coaching field hockey for 16 years. I was formerly a PE teacher at an all-girls school in Manhattan where I also coached lacrosse and swimming. I did play field hockey in college a long time ago. But what I do want to say is this sport has really been an integral part of my life and my identity since I was a youth athlete. So I just love getting to work with these girls because this is where my love of the game started. Okay, so the parent coaches and I are really looking forward to kicking off our season. Field hockey is most certainly in the air. I know this because I already have seen pumpkin spice lattes on menus places, so it must be fall. Okay, a little bit about this meeting's agenda. I'm going to cover our mission statement. We'll give you a snapshot of our house program's headcount, and then we'll talk about our schedule and, of course, our website. We're going to talk about DJFH's philosophy and our approach. We're going to cover the equipment that your daughter needs, and then we'll finish with how to stay in touch with us and your daughter's coaches. If you have any questions at the end of this video, please just email our registrar and our superstar scheduler, Jim Liddell. His email's right here, registrar@djfh.org, and I'm going to kick it to him now.
Thanks, Wynn. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jim Liddell. I'm the registrar and scheduler here for DJFH, and most days during the season, you'll see me out there moving cages, setting up the field for play, or on the megaphone, yelling out words of encouragement to your daughters. Anyway, thank you for your time this evening, and thank you for in advance as I try to juggle the schedule this season. I also want to extend a special thank you to Wynn Lennon, who you've just heard from. She's the director of DJFH. She does so much to make this program go. You see her on the field, I see her in the off season, and if you get a chance when you see her around town, see her on the sideline, tell her thank you. Tell her how you feel about the program. I know it would mean a lot to her. Anyway, let me get started here. I'm a numbers guy. I get excited about the numbers. We've got 575 girls signed up for DJFH this fall. That's up from 475 last year, 285 the year before. That's right. Since 2019, in field hockey in Darien, it's gone from 285 girls in 2019 to 575 girls here in fall of 2021. That is astounding. We are now the third largest program, youth sports program in Darien, only behind Darien Soccer Association and DY Lax. And they're both co-ed programs. We have 200 new girls to the sport this year, picking up sticks for the first time with DJFH. 20 of those are eighth graders. And that's truly amazing because when you think about it, that is their final year to join us on the turf, and they're picking up and trying the sport for the first time. We're going to have 14 travel teams, 16 third and fourth grade teams. That's up from 12 last year. And we're going to have about the same, about 150 first and second graders in the program. My biggest challenge is setting the schedule for all these girls, right? We've got tremendous growth, but huge challenge for me. And again, I ask, please bear with me as I do so. But I think we have a pretty good schedule locked in for the house program, grades 1 through 4. The biggest question I get from all of you is, hey, what's my daughter's schedule? The best answer I can always give is go to the website, djfh.org. Go to your daughter's team grade level. This year, when you go into the teams, they will have the rosters listed by the name of your teams, the country names, but the schedule will be found under the grade level. So you'll drop in, you'll see first grade, the schedule will be there. Second grade schedule, so on and so forth, all the way up to fourth grade. That will have practices, clinics, games, etc. So again, please check the website. I have posted the schedule. Please go out and you can actually sync that calendar to your phone. So you can select the grade, you'll pull the calendar up, and there's an option there to sync that to your own personal calendar. I highly recommend you do that. It will allow you to stay up to date throughout the season and post to your phone. I will send out emails, or the system will send out emails when a change is made, but it's always best to check there. And if there's any doubt in your calendar, again, reoccurring theme, go back and check the website. We're going to have, for the first and second grade this year, 5 clinics throughout the fall. They will always be on Saturdays. At least that's the plan for now. Generally speaking, they're in the morning. There is one exception, but if you check the schedule and you'll see that. 3rd and 4th grade will have Saturday morning practices, Sunday games, and something we like to call supersized Sundays, which is a combination of weeks that we cannot do a Saturday morning practice. We will have a 30-minute practice on Sunday afternoon, immediately followed by a 45-minute game. We call those supersized Sundays. So excited to have those, and I think there's 3 of those this fall. Schedule changes. We only change the schedule for 2 reasons. One is weather. So if there's lightning, obviously we cancel the event, or lightning in the forecast, or really heavy rain. Light rain, we're going to try to get out there and play. We do have limited time on the field this fall with your daughters, and we want to make sure we get the most of it. The other thing that changes the schedule are Darien high school athletic schedule or events, right? So there are 4 Saturdays this fall where we lose all of our fields entirely on Saturday mornings. There are 2 Saturdays where we lose our afternoons due to varsity football games. They shut down the high school there. And then there's various soccer and field hockey games that mixed in. So please be patient. Often the schedule changes are coming from somewhere else, and we always have to defer to Darien High School. So again, check that calendar, sync that calendar, and stay on top of things. We feel pretty good about our schedule this fall. We're excited to see your daughters. That's all from the desk of the registrar and scheduler. And so now back to you, Wynn. Have a great one, guys.
All right, I'm just going to touch on what our mission is here at DJFH. So our mission is to offer a fun, positive, inclusive, and robust youth field hockey experience, which will inspire love of the game, nurture and cultivate our local talent pool, develop the whole athlete, and then foster camaraderie across the entire Darien field hockey community. Our board really thought long and hard about what our core values were before authoring that statement, and I think this is a really nice segue into the culture of our program. So first and foremost, we are a developmental and inclusive program that meets the needs of all skill levels. We are not a club team, we don't make any cuts, and the athletes that we serve really do run the spectrum of girls playing year-round hockey and that have aspirations of going on to play in college, to girls that are strictly with us for the social side of the sport, or maybe to train for another sport that's in a different season. All are welcome. When thinking about the athletic developmental range of skill, I really love to use a popcorn kernel analogy. Old-fashioned popcorn is prepared in the same pot, with the same heat, the same oil, and yet those kernels will never pop at the exact same time. And really, our kids are no different. I love to keep that imagery in mind and know that as parents and as coaches, as tempting as it may be, we cannot rush our kids' development. We certainly play a part, but I firmly believe that ultimately kids develop themselves. Another element that makes DJFH special is our synergy with BWFH, or Blue Wave Field Hockey, which is the high school program. Our program uses the high schoolers as interns to instruct our younger grades. They come down and they also may officiate our travel games. Our goal is really to retain our youth athletes for as long as possible, and one way to do that is to have them interact with the high schoolers because they do look up to them and they're a fantastic resource. Another important part of our culture is that I ask my coaches to prioritize and cultivate an environment and an experience that is so fun and enjoyable that our athletes cannot wait to come in to our practices and our games, and they want to sign up next season. That is really what youth sports should boil down to. It should all be about fun. No athlete is getting handed a college scholarship on our turf fields, and none of our coaches are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame for that matter. And when you as parents pause for a second and you reflect back on your own youth sports experience, I can guarantee that you probably remember very little technical skill, drills, or the scores of your games, but you probably do remember elements like, the music at your warm-ups, maybe some kind of fun relay race you did at a practice, maybe a funny story one of your coaches told you, maybe a picture of a team pyramid that you still have, things like that. Finally, the last important thing about our culture is that we are more than just our scoreboard wins, and this can be a tough concept to wrap our heads around in Darien. Do not get me wrong, I'm a deeply competitive person, and you could challenge me to just about anything and I'm ready to throw it down. But what I mean by that is that We are, winning is not just equal to success, and failure is certainly not equal to losing. We've all played in games as athletes where we have played outstanding, we've done phenomenal things as a team, but then the game just didn't go our way. So success really should be about things like an athlete or a team giving their maximum effort day in and day out, improving a skill that was previously a challenge, perseverance in the face of a setback, definitely good sportsmanship, working together as a team, and then our coaches creating a positive and inclusive environment. Our first second grade program is the introductory leg of DJFH, where instruction is fun and it's play-centered. How many times have you ever heard a youth player come up to you as a parent and say, I want to work field hockey? Probably never. The statement usually goes, I want to play field hockey. And this is why we always end every one of our clinics with fun relay races, and we gamify all of our drills. We give our athletes age-appropriate training and instruction where they're learning things like the correct field hockey grip, the basic athletic stance, how to travel with the ball, how to receive or trap a ball, and how to pass and shoot. They do a little bit of 1v1 work, but games are not played until the 3rd and 4th grade. The 3rd, 4th grade program is our intermediate leg of DGFH, meaning that we emphasize the value of enjoying field hockey while simultaneously introducing the athletes to their first experience competing in games. There are no games played at the 1st, 2nd grade level. It's a process-based developmental program that teaches our athletes the fundamentals of field hockey in addition to teaching them the basic game concepts and strategies. When I say that this level is process-based, I'll give the example of how we allow coaches onto the field during games in the beginning of the season to direct the athletes and kind of scaffold them. As the season progresses, we do pull the coaches back, and we eventually move to something we call Silent Sunday, where the players coach themselves and the coaches don't speak. We focus on small-sided game principles, making it more exciting and simpler to play and teach field hockey, while also maximizing the touches on the ball. On game days, our athletes will always substitute into the field on the defensive end. They'll slide down to midfield and then eventually to attack. This is done so that the athletes learn how to play on all sides of the field and they don't get locked into one position at a young age. The most important facets of our program are developing the fundamental field hockey skills, understanding basic game tactics, learning how to be a part of a team, fostering team spirit, developing sportsmanship and playing with integrity, equal playing time, and of course, having fun. There are no goalies or penalty corners in our small-sided game format, and this is done to minimize the equipment and the frequent stoppages. When we scrimmage, the high school officials will call the fouls loosely, while of course prioritizing safety, and this is done so that players may get into a flow or a rhythm and be better able to develop game-specific principles. All right, now I'm going to cover all the required gear that's needed to play so that you guys can all rush out to Dick's and spend $100 the night before evaluations. Just kidding. This is all listed at djfh.org. It's under the registration tab if you want to go back and look at it. Okay, obviously you need a stick. I'm working now on a video about how to know when to buy a new stick or to update the one that you already have or was handed down to you. That will be on our socials. You can also check there on Instagram or Facebook for a post about stick sizing. You need shin guards. I really like the STX Hinder because they have a solid rigid exterior and then the interior has a padded liner for protection and for comfort. They're also really light and they fit tightly to the leg. I think they're about $45 on Amazon. If you already have soccer shin guards, just use those and save yourself some money. They'll need to have a molded mouth guard. You need turf shoes and also goggles. A little bit about goggles. The rule around protective eyewear was altered in 2020 and the NFHS no longer makes goggles mandatory because there's no significant research data that indicates that the goggles reduce the number of catastrophic eye injuries. The FCY FHL league that we play in this year does require goggles only for the defenders during penalty corners, which is the most dangerous play in field hockey. So you will need them on game days, but you have the option to take them off in practices when we're not doing corner work. One of the leading brands for goggles is again STX. Field hockey goggles need to be what's called ASTM standard, and you can find that on our website. The STX goggles 2C work really well for both lacrosse and field hockey if your daughter plays both sports. I think they're $40. Also the Hero X Vision, those work really great for both lacrosse and field hockey, and they offer protection while they give, they maximize visibility. And I think they're also $40 on Amazon. They also will need a water bottle, obviously, a penny, which we will issue them, and they're going to need their uniforms for game days. There's absolutely no jewelry, and please have your child pull their hair back for practices and games. Just get it off of their face. It's enough to battle their vision with the goggle cages. Don't throw hair in the mix too. Okay, happy shopping. Along the lines of communication, we've developed this chart to simplify the flow of communication inside the program. You'll get this document alongside an introductory email from your child's coach once they've been assigned to their team. All you really need to know is that you and your child communicate directly to their coach about things like goal setting, asking for skill feedback or answer any field hockey questions, and if your child has an injury or is going to be absent, of course, that all gets reported to their coach. Any unresolved issues with the coach, please feel free to contact me. My phone number and my email are listed here on this document. Any scheduling questions should be directed to Jim. He's our scheduler and our registrar. And should there be anything COVID related to report, that will go to our assistant director, Lauren Palomo. Feel free to just print this infographic out, fill out your coach's phone number, and then have it somewhere in your house as a reference. Ongoing communications, please just keep an eye out for our social accounts, both Instagram and Facebook. Again, djfh.org will have all of our master schedule listed there, and you can contact your daughter's coach via our website.